But the truth of the matter is, most aristocrats, most talented 10th bougie Negroes are fat. And the reason that they're fat is because they're getting fat off the pain of black people by telling everybody that the African American, foundational black American ADOS sky is falling, and the only way to save it is to give more money to your alleged YouTube channel that you call the Black Star Network, and of course to continue to vote blue no matter who, even though they have not delivered on any other promises that have led to anything positive in black America over the past 3 decades. Now, of course, you're going to sit up here, you're going to call me all types of dumbasses because that's what you do, because you can't back up anything I'm saying. In fact, you're just going to continue to bully people. And the thing of it is, Roland, unlike most people, I can actually take it. What I don't like is when you start discouraging, disparaging, and basically trying to disrespect our young people who are trying to move the ball forward. Now, Dave, what are you talking about? I don't remember Roland Martin bullying any kids. Well, I do. There was a young man named King Randall who in rural Georgia created a program called the X for Boys. It is a supplementary education program designed to teach tangible skills, not just education, but life skills to young black boys so that they can actually live in the world that exists, not some utopian black pride world that only is in the imagination of you bougie, boule, so-called hyper blue blood Negroes. You sat up there and disrespected King Randall, somebody who was maybe 21, 22 at the time, for taking matters into his own hands, raising money, and creating an environment where young black men could thrive instead of rob you. Because let's face it, if you got robbed, you would run. I've seen you run from people that you called dumbasses on your show when confronted by them. And when you didn't run from them, you hid behind women. That's not mannish behavior, Roland. That's, well, as the young people would say, downright sassy.
What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. It's your man Wise. I appreciate you guys pulling up, man. We got to check out my guy once again, Dave the Business Bully. He's been on the channel. He's a friend of the show. I got a lot of love for Dave, man. A lot of love for Dave. Now, I got to say, we don't agree on everything, but we do agree on about 90% of the things that he says. I am in agreement with. There's about 10% that I don't agree with, but it doesn't mean that he can't be my friend. It doesn't mean that he is still not my brother, because he is definitely that, and he cooks today. You guys got to see this. Like, share, subscribe, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Watch this video all the way through. All the way through. All right, let's get into it.
Well, surprise, Roland Martin's mad again. Why is this man so angry? Like, doesn't he have anything to smile about? Let's talk about it. This time, Roland Martin is upset because Republicans are redistricting seats, which happens every single time, you know, one party is in power. They want to make sure that they're able to maintain power. Democrats have done this. Republicans have done this. And my whole thing is, Roland is not upset because of the seat redistricting. He's upset for what that means for his paycheck, allegedly. The truth of the matter is, the real betrayal has not come from Republicans. It's come from Roland himself and the Congressional Black Caucus. Listen, I know what I'm about to say is going to sting and hurt some feelings, but somebody's got to say it. Roland Martin has not been a journalist for the past 15 years. Here's what I mean. We know that he got at least 6 figures from the Kamala Harris campaign. When somebody is paying you that much to sit down, that's not journalism. That is an infomercial at best.
Yep.
And he's profiteering from scaring people into voting one particular way. Go to my iPad. So can you trust somebody that has gotten paid tangibly multiple 6 figures from one particular campaign by somebody who also got pushed into a position that nobody voted her in? And I think a lot of people get confused by that. Kamala Harris did not have any type of primary where she was chosen as a Democratic nominee. Joe Biden was forced to step aside, not resign from the presidency, because he did not resign from the presidency. Had he resigned from the presidency, then of course Kamala Harris would have been the de facto president. until such time as an election. That did not happen. They all said, and when I say all, I mean the Congressional Black Caucus, the Democratic National Committee, and of course, Kamala Harris herself, along with Elizabeth Warren and all of the other Democrats, said that Joe Biden was going to focus on doing the work for the American people, and he can't do that and run a successful campaign. And so we just going to let Kamala do it. No voting, no runoff, no nothing. Even Barack Obama said that he wanted the nomination to go to the convention so that there was an actual vote. And then all of a sudden, they walked that back.
Yep. And this is the so-called party of democracy, right? They're the ones that tells everybody that will listen that Trump and Republicans are a threat to democracy, but they usurp democracy in their own party. I don't think anybody would have had a problem with Kamala had they actually had a real primary, and if she won because the people wanted her there, I don't think people would have had that much of a problem. Now, I still would not have voted for it. I don't think that she would have won, but they made themselves look bad. They lost a lot of credibility by doing what they did.
Again, where has anybody seen Dr. Umar? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? But I digress. The point of it is, if Roland is in the paycheck of Kamala Harris, the Congressional Black Caucus, and allegedly the Democratic National Convention or the Democratic National Committee, can his word be trusted? We can trust that it's going to be one-sided, but we can't trust that there'll be anything that looks or resembles objectivity. Roland Martin loves talking about how he's connected and clicked in with the Congressional Black Caucus, but I'm trying to figure out, and I know he hates this word because let's face it, he's not a foundational Black American. He can't stand the word tangibles. My question is, what tangible benefit over the past 20 years has the Congressional Black Caucus offered Black Americans?
Nothing. And they don't have any interest in doing so either because for the longest time, Black Americans has voted blue no matter who. So they hadn't had to offer anything. They hadn't had to earn our vote or work for our vote. They hadn't had to do it. So why would you offer or give anything to people that aren't really asking for anything?
I'm really trying to think. But let's run some stats, shall we? Let's go back. I'll spot you 30 years. Matter of fact, I'll give you 31. When it comes to mass incarceration, the Congressional Black Caucus was the loudest voice when it came to pushing the 1994 Joe Biden Bill Clinton crime bill. You know, the one that turned around and locked us up, 3 strikes. And oh, what was that? If you have a crack rock this big right here, you're going to do at least 25 years. That's what former President, then Senator Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. of Delaware said on the floor. Do we not? We don't remember that?
Let's not forget the 88 crack laws. Let's not forget that either, where there was a real differentiation between cocaine and crack, although it's the same substance, just in, a different form. Same thing. That's like saying ice is different than water.
And he had the mayors and he had the Congressional Black Caucus go to their particular districts and tell everybody that we got to get behind this so it makes it look like all the Black people really wanted to get rid of the crime. And don't get me wrong, Black people did want to get rid of crime, but not this way, where we become disproportionately, almost exclusively locked up by these laws that have not had any type of repair to them, unless you count the First Step Act. And I got issues with the First Step Act, but at least it's something in comparison to what happened.
Yeah. The First Step Act is solid. It is solid. Could it be better? I think so. But it was solid, especially in comparison to the 94 crime bill that locked up a plethora of brothers, a lot of the real ones, a lot of dads gone off the street for a very long time. Some still in prison. Some died in prison. Let's just keep it real.
So that's one I can give the Congressional Black Caucus. They tangibly delivered mass incarceration of Black people. I don't want to call that a benefit, though. Reparations. The Congressional Black Caucus has asked for reparations. Studies. Yeah, see, they want to keep studying it. I'm sorry. Have you been to a hood? Any hood? I don't care if you're in Watts, North Philly. I don't care if you're on the south side of Chicago. Do we need to study the fact that densely populated Black communities are in disrepair, have minimal access to fresh whole foods, have very high crime rates, are either over policed or have slow police response times, are undereducated, don't have a whole lot of kids that are operating at grade level, let alone reading at grade level. What is it we need to study that hasn't already been studied over the past 150 years? I'm confused, but you can't get an answer for that, because that would look too much like accountability. But according to Roland, the sky is falling. Go to my iPad, because he can't remember the facts, let alone the disparaging, glaring, disproportionate negative numbers that have happened on the watch of the most powerful, largest caucus in American politics, which is the Congressional Black Caucus.
I'll say this. This is where Dave and I disagree. I mean, I don't disagree with him on the actual Congressional Black Caucus and the quote unquote studying for reparations and things of that nature. I just don't think that it's going to happen, nor do I think that it should at this point. I do think there are some things that need to be done in in the communities. I like the idea of the people that live in, some of these disenfranchised communities. I like the idea of them having school choice and you can send your kids off to better schools. I would like to see some additional incentives to get married. I'd like to see more people having that discussion about getting married, because the reality of it is the real privilege in America, it's not a white privilege or Hispanic or an Asian privilege or a black privilege. It's family privilege. And the facts align. The facts back it up. We know that married couples are the wealthiest people in the country. They have the highest household incomes in the country. And when you look at black people that are married, they're right there with everybody else when it comes to household income. Only 4% of married people are in poverty. That's just a fact. That's what the data says. So I'm not for reparations, but I am for incentivizing people to get married. I would like to see more conversations, especially from the church and other leaders out there, discussing how important it is to find a good husband, find a good wife, partner with that person, and build a solid life together. That's the only way that we are going to make it in America. You can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. And giving people money that have a poor mindset, it's not going to help them. If anything, it's going to exacerbate their situation. And they'll be in a worse condition than they were before they even received the money. I'm just saying, I know some people are going to watch it. Y'all don't like it. I know there's a lot of people out there, even to this day, they still stumping for it. But it's not going to happen. And I am with the brother, John Hope Bryant, who says that, hey, black folks need to stop thinking about this reparation thing and start thinking about how are we going to get our slice of this capitalist pie here in America. And he actually has a plan and a blueprint as to how to go about doing it. The number one way Americans generate wealth in this country is through home ownership. When you think about black Americans, I believe the number is about 44% of black Americans are homeowners. We need to see those numbers tick up, but it's hard to be a homeowner if you out here trying to do it by yourself. You really need two people on the same page, working, building, saving together. And if we can get those numbers to tick up to over 50% of black households are homeowners, that's the way to generate wealth. It's the number one way Americans generate wealth, regardless of ethnicity.
Let's keep rolling. No pun intended. The Congressional Black Caucus, education. We've got billions and billions of dollars that could have cured homelessness 20 times over. But the education in densely populated black neighborhoods is still subpar at best. But again, putting the cape on for foreign affairs, but not taking care of what's happening domestically. Oh, wait, I gotta take that back. They are doing a lot for what's happening domestically for illegal immigrants.
Yeah, they have more concern with illegal immigrants than they have for Americans. All the hundreds of millions of dollars, the billions of dollars that they've spent on illegal immigrants in our nation, if they actually supported the Americans that needed the help, a lot of folks would be better off. But they're not concerned with you. They're concerned with their new voter bloc, which is the illegal immigrant.
Okay, listen, I did not know that Auntie Maxine Waters could get off a private plane so quickly to come back down to California to stand in solidarity with illegal immigrants who, of course, not in any small part, thanks to the Congressional Black Caucus, have gotten education programs, clothing,
Yep.
money, food stamps,
Yep.
cars.
Money to buy businesses. They're allowing these people to buy businesses. Yeah, they could definitely they could do better, but they choose not to. They choose not to because they know there's still entirely too many people that will not leave the plantation. They won't leave it. There's entirely too many people that are stuck on the plantation. Now, I'm not here to tell you to go be a Republican, but what I am telling you is to go be an independent, look at each party equally and judge them based off of their policy and their agenda, not whether they're red or blue, conservative, liberal, Democrat, Republican. Vote for the people that are going to serve your interests. Stop voting blue no matter who, because they're actually using it against you.
Training, everything they could possibly need to be an upstanding citizen, except for U.S. citizenship. You don't find that suspicious?
Go to my iPad.
Addressing the wealth gap. I almost said it with a straight face. I promise you I did. Do you realize that according to a lot of separate studies, by 2053, the black wealth statistic will be at absolute zero? What's funny about that is the Congressional Black Caucus has gotten progressively richer over the past 30 years. Maxine Waters allegedly is a millionaire.
Multi.
Help me make that make sense. If we're
So
going to
is
have
Kamala
smoke for the
Harris.
fact that Nancy Pelosi is arguably the greatest day trader since E.F. Hutton, we also got to talk about Auntie Maxine. And I know y'all love her because she says she's reclaiming her time. Like she was doing a Miss Jane Pittman impression. Oh, I got to reclaim my time. I think black people need to reclaim their time. I'm trying to understand, Roland, why you keep giving your loyalty to them. Oh, of course, most people are loyal to their boss. Duh. And if somebody's paying you, they're your boss. That's how that works. We're not going to talk about that, Roland? It's okay. It's not a problem. I want to keep talking about the tangibles that Roland is so worried about us losing from the wonderful work over at the Congressional Black Caucus. Police reform. Police reform is something that the Congressional Black Caucus has been very, very, very vocal on. But when it comes to action, not to be confused with Tara Fabulous and Nadine Sutherland, I'm not talking about that song, which, by the way, had me in a chokehold when I was in high school. But I digress. There has been... Okay, I'm going to say it. After the death of George Floyd, you would think that we would have had the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act passed into law. But here we are 5 years later, like it's Avengers Endgame, and we still don't have that law in place. Where was the Congressional Black Caucus? I know they were paying you, Roland, but where are they when it comes to justice for us? Because you're always talking about how bad police brutality is, but I don't see you cuddling up to your buddies and asking them what they're doing. Now, you do wear some very interesting clothes, and you do a whole lot of dance that make even some of your Alpha Phi Alpha and Fraternity Incorporated brothers cringe when you do it, because you look like a dressed up Grimace and something King Joffrey Joe Furr would wear in Coming to America 3 if he was still alive. God bless James Earl Jones. But bro, while you're dancing and bopping around with everybody from Kamala Harris to Hillary Clinton, you're not asking the hard questions of these people because you don't have any smoke for Democrats. You only have smoke with people who disagree with you.
Yeah. Well, the thing too is that it's hard to pass one of these laws when the people in these communities don't actually care about each other. And let's just keep it real. Most black folks aren't donating to anybody's campaign. Most aren't. Most aren't donating to a campaign. They're not donating to a PAC, super PAC. So how do you get your voice heard if you're not willing to put your money where your mouth is. You want to get something accomplished, do what everybody else does, which is pay for it. They pull the resources together, create a PAC. There's a lot of folks out there that say, oh, black people need to create a party. No, you need to create a PAC. Put the resources in there. Hopefully it's not some shady Umar Johnson type, you know what I'm saying, that's going to steal the money and use the bread to fund the candidates that are going to push your agenda. I'm surprised no one's done it yet. I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet, but that's what needs to be done. That's what everybody else does. They create these PACs, they fund it, and then they have someone that goes and lobbies and funds the candidates that is willing to push their agenda. Still hadn't seen that done yet.
And that in and of itself makes you a very unreliable narrator at best and a joke of a journalist at worst. Roland, I hate to break it to you, that's not leadership, it is cosplay in kente cloth. And quite frankly, a lot of black people are sick of it, including me. Roland, we gotta talk about the boule, buddy. We gotta talk about you blue blood, upper crust, yowza boss, step daddy, shade tree house coons that are benefiting handsomely while the rest of us are trying to figure it out in a real way. You are a gatekeeper, Roland. You dance with the elite upper crust Negroes. You are a step and fetch it house coon, and somebody needs to say that. And when I say coon, I don't mean COON because that's disparaging. I mean you're a kooky, emotional, weak Negro. Coon, KEWN. You are a kooky, emotional, weak Negro because you have not done anything tangible, either through action, through words, or by example, to show your strength. Roland, can you do a push-up, sir? One push-up. One, and I don't mean a girl push-up, no diss to girls. I'm talking about the modified push-up that you do on your knees. I'm talking about a straight, planked out, flat out push-up. Can you run a mile, Roland? Because if you really cared about revolution, you might want to start with getting your weight and your high blood pressure under control. Now, I can't prove that you have high blood pressure, but I have talked to several doctors and they say those black marks on your cheeks are indicative of somebody that may be suffering from hypertension. I'm trying to understand how you could lead any type of revolution when you can't run up the stairs without getting winded. And I get it. Listen, I'm a recovering fat ass myself, but I decided to do something because nobody is fearing someone with no neck and an ascot talking about what he demands from people.
Facts. And I saw a video the other day, and it was a dude, he was talking about a revolution and civil war, all this other kind of foolery, right? It was a heavier set brother. And I'm thinking to myself, like, if that was to happen, you're not going to be able to do anything. I mean, you're huffing and puffing walking right now while you're talking. You're struggling just to walk right now. Now, I'm a firm believer that as a man, you should be able to do push-ups. You should be able to, bench your own weight. You should be able to at least pull up your own weight at least once. I'm a firm believer that, hey, you need to go hit the range at least once a month, work with your firearm. I think that you should learn some form of combat sport, whether it's boxing, jujitsu, something. Learn how to protect yourself. Not because you want to jump out here and be a bully, but just in case. It's better to have the skill sets and not need than need the skill sets and not have. I'm just saying. And there is entirely too many weak soy boy betas on that side of things, man, that they do a lot of talking, but they can't do anything. Dave's going to talk about it. Every time someone has pulled up on Roly Poly or Swollen Martin, as some folks have affectionately called him, he's running behind women. He gets the heck on every time somebody rolls up on him.
The truth of the matter is most aristocrats, most talented 10th bougie Negroes are fat. And the reason that they're fat is because they're getting fat off the pain of black people by telling everybody that the African-American, foundational black American ADOS sky is falling, and the only way to save it is to give more money to your alleged YouTube channel that you call the Black Star Network, and of course to continue to vote blue no matter who, even though they have not delivered on any other promises that have led to anything positive in black America over the past 3 decades. Now, of course, you're going to sit up here, you're going to call me all types of dumbasses because that's what you do, because you can't back up anything I'm saying. In fact, you're just going to continue to bully people. And the thing,
yeah, he can't refute anything that Dave is saying, but he'll have a bunch of names and pejoratives that he'll throw at him, but that's about it.
it is, Roland, unlike most people, I can actually take it. What I don't like is when you start discouraging, disparaging, and basically trying to disrespect our young people who are trying to move the ball forward. Now, Dave, what are you talking about? I don't remember Roland Martin bullying any kids. Well, I do. There was a young man named King Randall who in rural Georgia created a program called the X for Boys. It is a supplementary education program designed to teach tangible skills, not just education, but life skills to young black boys so that they can actually live in the world that exists, not some utopian black pride world that only is in the imagination of you bougie, boule, so-called hyper blue blood Negroes. You sat up there and disrespected King Randall, somebody who was maybe 21, 22 at the time, for taking matters into his own hands, raising money, and creating an environment where young black men could thrive instead of rob you. Because let's face it, if you got robbed, you would run. I've seen you run from people that you called dumbasses on your show when confronted by them. And when you didn't run from them, you hid behind women. That's not mannish behavior, Roland. That's, well, as the young people would say, downright sassy. But you got mad at King Randall because he quoted the Honorable Elijah Muhammad by saying that one thing black people need to do is do for self.
But what do you mean do for self? What does that even mean?
You knew what it meant.
Yeah.
But because you're planned and paid for opposition, the last thing you want is for somebody like King Randall to inspire a generation of young people that are getting up off of their behinds and doing something to rectify what's happening in our communities. Because if young black people got together and started taking responsibility neighborhood by neighborhood, city by city, state by state, then what would the Congressional Black Caucus and all of your DNC buddies have to run on? Because they can't say that they're going to clean up the streets and be active in the hood when the hood has been replaced by thriving, self-sufficient black communities. That would make somebody like you, what's the word I'm looking for, irrelevant, even more than what you are actually.
He is absolutely right. I would love to see King Randall's school. I don't know if he could turn it into a franchise or something, but we need these X academies for boys and for girls. I'd like to keep them separate, but for boys and for girls in a lot of communities around the country. King Randall is doing the Lord's work down there. Wow. Dave cooked today, man. Go check out this video. The link will be in the description box if you want to watch it without my commentary. But Dave cooked, man. He's absolutely right, man. And the thing is that these Stevens from Django, they get paid. They're getting paid to hold black folks back. King Randall hit the nail on the head, man. Gotta do for self. There's so many opportunities out there. There's so many ways to get some money. Education and information is as free as it's ever been in the history of mankind. All it takes is the motivation to want to do it. And the thing is that once you start moving, there are going to be some other people along the way that's going to say, you know what? I got you, young brother, young sister. I'm going to help you. But you can't help those who aren't willing to help themselves. You just can't do it. You can't help people who are not willing to help themselves. You can't make people want more out of life than they want for themselves. You can't want it more than them. They have to want it. Now, a lot of these communities around the country, yes, they're in shambles. But can that change? Absolutely. Can it change in a generation? Absolutely. Can it change without the assistance of the federal or state government? Yes, it can. Yes, it can. All you got to do is start making better decisions. Start focusing on how to pull the resources. Go check out John Hope Bryant's website. Go check him out. He gives a blueprint and he's offering the information for free, but no one can make you read it. What they say, that old adage, you can take a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink. Yeah, we can give you the information. We can't make you read it. We can't make you study it. We can't give you, and instill a strong work ethic in you. Some of this stuff you got to get on your own. Some of this stuff you got to have. No one can give that to you. You have to want it. Shout out to my guy, Dave, man. Link will be in the description box below. I appreciate you guys supporting the channel. I appreciate you guys. Happy Labor Day to each and every one of you all. Hey, Join this channel. Support what we're doing over here at ARP, man. We're doing great things over here. I appreciate everybody that supports the channel. Join the ARP family. Buy me a coffee. That link's in the description box below. Super chat, super thanks are greatly appreciated. And if you watch the video all the way through and hit the like button, that's a whole heck of a lot, and it means a lot to me. So I appreciate you guys, man. God bless you all. Keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.
Vibes so raw, can't hide the truth. Words so sharp.